During my school time in Germany, after receiving our lessons of the Second World War and how it went on, and especially focusing on the genocide, I often talked to my friends and we discussed whether or not we would have joined the cause back then to fight against the Nazis, or whether or not we would have actually joined the military because we would have no other option. The question was if we could even back then realize what is happening because of lack of information, propaganda, or simply being so sucked into this culture and vortex of somehow of a mass hysteria and hallucination and everybody just going in one direction. And most of the time we came to the conclusion that most likely, as Germans living back then, we would have followed the course of the German nation back then, followed the directive of the government, because we would lack the required transparency, the required facts to even understand what is going on back then. Even similar discussions with our teachers were very interesting, where our historian teacher, I will never forget that, said, most likely I would have also joined the military of Germany, which is very weird to hear that from an old German guy. Anyway, today I would like to talk about a topic that is related to this. And that's why I called this video The Death of Rationality in Europe, especially in Germany. For that purpose, I would like to start with this picture. Most of you most likely have seen this picture already. This picture is from a guy called, most likely, August Landmesser. August Landmesser, in this picture, declined to join the 99.9% of other people lifting their arms and saluting this one person. He declined to joining the mindset, despite being overwhelmingly surrounded by all other people basically following this direction. He declined because he showed courage, because he showed intelligence, because he was able to read and understand the facts of hatred, the facts of open war, the facts of death and destruction, basically. Let's go through the line of facts we might be able to put together today. Amnesty International, and of course this video is about Gaza. In my opinion, Amnesty International and some other organization are one of the best creations humanity has ever created or has ever come up on this planet during the millennia of existence of our race. It's a group that does nothing else than making sure that international law and humanitarian law is not broken, that minorities are not persecuted, that people can basically live free. And these guys are basically experts in what they do. In this case, I would like to read the headline. Amnesty International investigation concludes Israel is committing genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. For me, it's interesting that when I discuss with people, they often say, it's too complicated. You don't know what's going on. You cannot pick a side. Look, I am not picking a side. To be honest, I couldn't care less right now about the sides. I just care about the facts being presented by the different groups of our international establishment that have been specialized on this matter and that come up with very conclusive summaries, observations, and statements. Amnesty International is one of them. Amnesty International is maybe a source that would have been very much appreciated by many people of this in this picture. But back then, they did not have these sources, but we do. Human Rights Watch. Israel's crime of extermination, acts of genocide in Gaza. So we have here the second organization, in my opinion, one of the shining beacons of humanity's creation, intellectual creation in this time, is very clear in its statement that there is a genocide right now being committed. And the word genocide is used in an inflationarily matter. It's used too often, in my opinion. It loses its heavy weight and meaning. It's the biggest sin, felony, crime, whatever you want to call it, that we as humans have identified. And we have here our most independent organizations that have focused on this matter, that are very clear with their conclusions. Let's continue. Human Rights Watch. Again, an institution or a group of people created that just blows my mind. People that are doctors, that are surgeons, one of the most stressful jobs most likely on the planet, that in their free time, or they make free time, I don't know, go to war zones and help other people build up medical supply chains, like are in the middle of gunfires and perform surgeries in the most ridiculous environments. And these guys, they find the most dramatic words because they are on the front lines. Gaza, genocide. If you have not watched the interviews of doctors from from Doctors Without Borders in Gaza or coming back from Gaza, I strongly recommend to watch it. It's basically the most horrific bloodbath description you can imagine, including and mostly focusing on children being hunted with bullets in their heads and chests. We're not over yet. European Central for Constitutional and Human Rights. This document is a question and answer session, but the title is very clear. The ongoing genocide in Gaza. So even within the European Union, with this very slow and weirdly objectively dead institution, has still some subgroups that can analyze the current situation and come up with a clear conclusion. The ongoing genocide in Gaza. Let's move on. You all have heard about this for sure. The International Court, Criminal Court or International Court of Justice. There is a warrant where all nations who are members of the ICC are normally obliged to imprison Netanyahu so he can get his fair trial for the suspicion of committing genocide in Gaza. This court has been created because of the genocide committed by the Germans during the Second World War. This court has been created to defend and save human rights globally, human law, protect minorities, make sure that war crimes are identified and the people responsible are being punished accordingly. This institution, that is again a wonderful creation of human inspiration and human strive for justice, is very clear that they're currently searching per warrant for the current Prime Minister of Israel, the nation that is committing all these atrocities in Gaza, but has been well documented by now through all the different very independent organizations. And it gets a bit weird because the US sanctioned ICC judges and Netanyahu thanks Trump for it. In which absurd reality, imagine the death of rationality and objectivity are we living, where a nation can sanction ICC judges so the guy that is being prosecuted by the ICC can send him a warm thank you. It's the death of rationality. It's the death of international law and thus law in general. This is not just something that is happening and has no impact on you. It means that only power rules. It means that when you are powerless, there is no guarantee you will survive or you will be confronted with any form of justice because the powerful will decide. Part of the ICC is this wonderful guy called Theodore Meron. He's a Holocaust survivor, born in 1930. He lost his mother during the Holocaust. He lost most of his family, killed by the Germans during the Holocaust. He's a professor for international humanitarian law, and he's a Jew. So which other more neutral entity and more representative entity do we need to make sure that this is not about religion? This is not about a race. This is not about a nation. It's just and solely and purely about the crime that is being committed. The crime in Gaza is a genocide. And it doesn't matter who you are, what religion you're part of, or what state. You have to be confronted with the same degree of justice like everybody else. And Mr. Meron, as a pristine member of the ICC and a very, very experienced member of various UN organizations, including being ambassador of Israel in different nations and in the UN, he is clear that Netanyahu, the current prime minister of Israel, is committing a genocide. He was one of the guys in 2024 already recommending to start his persecution. So guys, is the topic really that complicated? Is it really that special? It's not about any religion here right now. We don't care. It's about the crime and who is committing the crime. It's the only thing that matters. We are seeing a death of rationality and objectivity throughout all Western, especially Western countries, Western institutions, Western governments. There is a sect-like commitment to the other side in this regard, which I cannot fully understand where this comes from. However, the only way we can work against this, my dear friends, is with courage. It's the only thing that will help. Only courage will help us to get out of this. Only with courage we can fight against losing rationality and losing objectivity. Because at least for me, the current case is very clear. What I kindly ask you is to talk about it. Don't be silent. If you're silent right now, where the world needs your voice the most, you have failed. You have failed yourself, your courage, and all humans on this planet. And I'm absolutely convinced by this.